Breaking news, we now have the NASDAQ down 488 points. That is actually not even the low of the session. 534 is the low of the session. I'm checking so many screens here to make sure we are on every single tick of this. And as the markets take a plunge, Wall Street's fear gauge is upsurging. The VIX, this is CBOE's volatility index, is charging higher by 13.25% right now. Investors are fearing the worst, that even with a tight labor market, because we have that, the U.S. is tumbling towards a recession and the Federal Reserve might not be able to deliver a soft landing. But legions of investors and traders out there know how to play volatility to their advantage, and they do so through the world's largest options exchange. CBOE Global Markets Chairman and CEO Ed Tilly started his career as a trader, 30 years ago, Ed?
A little longer than that, but that sounds good. I'll go with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ed's joining us at a Fox Business exclusive. Ed, a lot of things are converging literally right this minute. I mean, we have central banks around the world, our Fed included, in full rate tightening mode. And tomorrow we have quadruple witching on deck. Describe the options trading action you're seeing right now at your new CBOE floor right behind you.
Well, thanks, Liz. And what you've described is right. The factors that have gone into the uncertainty in this U.S. market, and really the global market, the extension of supply chain issues, the war in Ukraine, raising rates, it is all being shown to us in real time. And we look at the S&P 500, that's behind us. That's what you see behind me. And then the volatility that we're measuring by the implied volatility of the S&P 500, our VIX, tells us that that uncertainty is going to persist for months and months. If you look out over the term structure of volatility and our option prices, our traders, our investors are saying that uncertainty is well into to the new year.
Months and months. Okay, even if, as Dennis Lockhart of the Atlanta Fed just about, 30 minutes ago, said on our air, he expects that it is a chance that we will see another September rate hike. But then we had traders anticipate that things may be so difficult when it comes to recession that we could possibly see a rate pullback. But volatility would still continue in that case, correct?
It is really the uncertainty around whether or not rates continue to increase, or in that one read on whether or not they're cut. It's that uncertainty that leads to the higher volatility and prices reflecting that when traders and investors around the globe are looking to hedge their exposure in the broader U.S. market.
You know, we do have investors who use the VIX and the futures market to manage to dodge what's happening right now, and that is the market pulling back. Options have become such an interesting play for now the retail investor. It's no longer just for sort of the uber experienced and institutional guys, right? So what kind of trades are the big ones at the moment that you see? And if you could just explain a little bit to our viewers, because we like to educate our viewers just as much as anybody.
Well, we do too. So CBOE's always been in the education business. So when you mention retail investors, we make sure that we have education available and products that are suitable and sized appropriately for the retail investor, which means if you look behind me again, we look at the S&P 500, that's a very large notional trade, and really institutional investors love that trade. And as for retail, we've offered different sizes of notional investment, and our newest exposure is called a nano. It's very, very inexpensive from a notional view, but allows for the same strategies that the pros use.
This is something that we are hearing right behind you that we haven't heard in a long time, and that is very loud, open outcry. Actual traders versus just electronic. My question to you is this: does it really improve price discovery and liquidity to have the humans there?
This is the best market for us to display just the incredible value add that our brokers and our market makers provide in markets that are the most uncertain and the biggest moves. The value add and the customer experience is really top of game when face-to-face negotiation is allowed, and that's what we facilitated. Our customers trade about 33% of their contracts in open outcry in the pit and the S&P 500 right behind me, and about 46, 45% in VIX options, which are right over my left shoulder.
Well, let me just tell our viewers who happen to be, we got a lot of viewers in the car right now listening on XM 113. We do have the volatility index spiking about 13.25%. Ed, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Please come back.
Great to be with you, Liz. Thank you very much.
Ed Tilly, Chairman and CEO of the CBOE. Yes, they're calling it the CBOE now, not CBOE. It's, okay, they want it to be called the CBOE.